all curious here. So, well, that's close enough to Storm, right? We got under Elosegui playing Mystic Forge. We already saw that deck action in action earlier this tournament. And on the other side, we got Jorge Alen playing Rakdos Reanimator. And yeah, we get the classic, as we call it, scam opening of the day. I want to say this is the second or third scam that we've seen happening at this tournament. And on the other side of the board, we got Grim Monolith, Basalt Monolith, Eldrazi, Flash Wrecker.
Yeah, Glaring Flash Raker.
That's close enough. Okay, we got the ring. Like, this is a Paradox Engine. This is a pretty good opening hand, right? What you want here is a Wasteland.
Yeah, a little mana light. The Grim Monolith is basically what holds this whole hand together. I think there's a lot of expensive spells in that hand. Obviously, like Anda, like you don't know if you get paired against like a Wasteland deck or not. I think this is a fine keep. However, it might struggle versus Daze Wasteland. Let's see.
The thing is, if we do actually end up taking the command here, I feel like this must definitely be a Reanimator on the Grief, right? Because as you mentioned, we really want to take the Grim Monolith out of that hand.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, of course, you could also just like say, Anda, you know what? You get that Grim Monolith, or maybe we're even holding Daze, which I guess at this point is super unlikely since we fetched basic Swamp. And okay, now that's a surprise. Just like straight up main phase Entomb.
That's interesting. Oh, and good old Grizzle Daddy. I haven't seen this guy in a while. It's crazy to say that, but Grizzlebrand, like it used to be the #1 fatty to get. It got a little tougher now that Bokish Bowmaster is a card. I'm a little surprised to see that in main phase. Maybe there's a particular reason for this.
Maybe it's just F6 value. You want F6 on the opponent's turn.
Or yeah, I don't know. You want to show that Grizzle Daddy like as long as possible on camera. Yeah. I get that too.
Yeah. So you know what I was mentioning earlier? I think there's like a world where you let the Grim Monolith stay in hand and resolve, and then you let Anda use it once. Because realistically, in the long and midterm and short and midterm, that's the only time you use it, and you force fulfill whatever he plays. Right?
Oh,
You're
yeah.
saying like Anda, you get to use your basically kind of like Dark Ritual, your colorless Dark Ritual. That's okay. And whatever you do, I'm going to count it. And then you're not going to do anything for the rest of the game. So maybe that's the thinking that Jorge is using there. We will see. Curious what the second... Like, honestly, this is probably just going to be Animate Dead, right?
Oh,
Exhume.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Dude, I've been wondering at times, like, everybody is playing Animate Dead. Like, why is Exhume not good anymore? Of course, the opponent gets serve cards, so there's something.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a downside of the card.
So now I'm wondering... I mean, yeah, okay, this is straight up Rakdos Reanimator. This isn't even scam, so I guess that there was no scam in the cards anyway, unless we had Reanimate, I guess. Okay. Do you go to 4 here? Do you just, like, draw 7 cards? You're like, no, of course I do, and then I'm going to unmask you and take any scary cards you might have. So it's 5 mana next turn.
Yeah, I like taking the One Ring, shortens the clock a little bit. The redundant, what's it called?
Paradox Engine.
Engines, yeah, they don't do a lot if like they require a board and some draw engines, right?
Yeah, Grizzlebrand will have taken over the game and like completely won before Paradox Engine even becomes a factor. So at that point, technically the Flash Wrecker could do...
there's a backup One Ring. Okay.
Yes, you do. But honestly, even that's not going to do it for you. Right? I mean, yeah, you get the extra turn, but... I mean, Grizzlebrand doesn't get to connect, so no extra life gain, no extra card draw in that regard.
Ooh, and we draw a key. Okay. I think we have a real game now. Under can untap, like he can untap that Grim Monolith to boost mana, but he can also untap the One Ring to draw even more cards next turn. He will be drawing a lot of cards next turn.
I think at this point you actually... it's crazy, right? Because all of a sudden the Paradox Engines are really good. And you kind of want to, attack. Nothing happens, I guess. It's like, oh, I don't even gain life. Nope. You kind of want to draw cards because the only way you can still interact now is like discard, and you kind of want to...
Yeah, but
you
the
must do
discard
something.
yeah, but the discard doesn't work this turn. That's the thing. It's the
Oh,
Wandering,
because
right? And also, like, if you go down too much on life, then the glaring Flash Raker might actually kill you.
That's the one reason why I thought like maybe you don't want to go for discard, but of course you got the much better reason discard doesn't work in the first place.
Yeah.
So now I'm curious,
Oh,
like, what do you even do here? Entomb? Okay, I mean you get a Truxa, I guess. Oh! Zuchttier des Wahnsinns, Sire of Insanity. Oh, old school, loving it. Like, who needs hands anyways? But then again, I mean,
This is a cool
drawing
card.
a ton of cards next turn.
Honestly, I believe that there are, like, not everyone in chat is familiar with what this card does, because this is a little bit of an oldie, I think. It used to be a staple in Legacy decks. Like, now you don't see it that often anymore. But yeah, it's I think it's a 6/4, and in every end step, every player has to discard their entire hand. That's like a crazy mechanic.
Immediately, right?
Immediately.
It's like not on your turn, you discard your hand, like on every player's end step, every player discards their hand.
Exactly.
You get a lot of friends in EDH with that card.
Oh, yeah.
I played this with
I mean,
Magram or something.
I mean, that's usually when you start flipping the table, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see, like, this One Ring has to deliver now.
Yeah, well, this One Ring has to deliver another One Ring into play right away. Yeah, see, that's another One Ring, but can we get to the mana? Because I'm not so sure about that. Maybe we just have to take a hit for, well, it's exactly 13. How unfortunate is that? So we got, what's it called? Cave, the land that sacks for 2 mana.
Oh, the Crystal Vein.
Crystal Vein, that's the one. But nothing else really. Yeah, I think we're dead on board. There's no Frodo get invisible tricks going on anymore. Yeah.
This is really close.
Or
man.
Is that like floating mana that dies on there?
I think so.
Might be. Like if that's floating mana, maybe we can get there. We got the Grim Monolith.
Another Monolith.
3. So now if we get another key, we can get to 4. We got another key. Okay, so that gives us exactly 4 mana. Gives us another ring and another turn. And maybe, just maybe, the Paradox Engine next turn is going to get us there. Oh no, we don't even have it anymore. We have to discard it to oh god, yeah. That's why the Sire of Insanity was so good. You have to play honest Magic every single turn. Like, a lot of Mystic Forge players are not used to that. Just like, just cutting all of that.
We keep the old ring, because we want to draw as much as possible.
I like how Jorge hasn't really done anything with the Griselbrand by now. Like, he's drawn 7 cards once, and now he's just, like, keeps discarding.
Yeah, he's just chilling.
Like, Anda probably doesn't have it in the main deck. Like, I would be quite surprised. But if he could find Ensnaring Bridge, like, it's just over, right?
Oh, yeah. You cannot... I don't think you can beat Ensnaring Bridge. The One Ring is a win condition too. Like, Under is a little bit of on a clock, you know.
Oh, that's true. It's on 4 already. You're right. So he might actually just die to it.
So, yeah, he needs to find another ring, you know, but he has already seen 2 more rings, so...
Yeah, but he's also drawing like 17 cards every single upkeep or something. Every single step along the way.
Yeah.
As soon as he finds another copy of Paradox Engine that he can actually get into play, I think the game might just... Dude, this is just like such a back and forth game. These players, they deserve each other. Very much so. I'm just happy that neither of these players ran into like an honest-to-God, I don't know, Merfolk, aggressive player, you know? That's not what they deserve. They deserve each other, and that's cool. Because that makes for great gameplay. Like, if you see these like big battle cruiser, space laser weapons.
Look at this, Like, the One Ring draws almost as many cards as Griselbrand.
It's like, I want to say it drew like 5 times as many cards as Griselbrand by now. Like, Anders already like running out of strength to hold the cards in his hand. Like, he might need some backup, like some people to come in and like hold the cards for him. Like, you know, mechanically, the only limitation is like you have to be able to shuffle your deck. All of a sudden, you have to be able to carry all of your cards in your hand because they're so heavy and so strong. Like, all these artifacts, right? I would guess they weigh like, I don't know, every card is like 500 grams or something.
Yeah, like a half a pound maybe, yeah.
He can't make up his mind. Like, I can't hold all these cards. You know that meme about like Uno, like do this or draw 24 cards? Like, Anda is the guy who draws all the cards. Let's just untap that and tap it again. Sounds good. Lose 2 life. And get another Grim Monolith. And then a bunch of, like... Looks like we actually did not draw another Paradox Engine yet. Maybe we did, and we're just, like, sequencing it in a way to maximize the engine afterwards. I think at this point we're getting to 5 mana. Or 4. Let's see. Once again, this is what I call a trade binder board state. Like where people just like throw out all the stuff they have and like, okay, so you got this Grizzlebrand and like this big creature, you know, I got all of these. Would you trade me for these? Like, yeah, you gotta add some more. He's like, okay, you can have a Crystal Rain and maybe a Lotus Petal. You always wanted the Lotus Petal, I know it.
Yeah.
Like it's missing from your Rakdos Reanimator deck. I just saw it the other day. You're just playing 3 copies. Like Jorge is like, maybe I'm gonna bite. It's like, yeah, okay, this is like another key, even old frame.
How about
Pretty
another
good.
key?
Yeah. You can use it to generate a ton of mana. Like, you know you're in trouble when the opponent is not untapping their ring anymore to draw 7 extra cards, but they're untapping their Grim Monolith. You're like, you're done for. And Jorge knows that. I'm just curious what the finishing touch on that turn is going to be.
Yeah, I thought it would be like a glaring Flash Raker. If you cast it like any Lotus Petal, any spell really in that deck, triggers it, you get more tokens. The tokens also shoot for damage, and you know, like being at 10 life is that's not a secure point. You know, like you might die to those triggers very soon, maybe even this turn.
Oh, there's one in hand on the very left, right? You can see that one?
Oh yeah.
That looks like a glaring Flash Raker. I'm just stumbling together. What's it called? Glaring Flash
Raker.
Raker, okay.
Yeah.
The trade is materializing. Okay, here comes the Flash Raker. Let's get some Lotus Petals. Take some extra damage here.
See, this is the win condition.
This is like, you know, the beginning of the Rammstein song, Sonne. Where they go 10, 9. No, actually they count up, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we're counting down from 10. 10, 9. Should make it like 8, 7. The sports state dude.
Okay, 2 spawns.
I mean, there must be so much more. Oh, he's using them for mana even. Oh, there must be something really good now. I feel like he's sitting on a... Oh, yeah, okay, that one works too.
Like, yeah, like he can pretty much poop out his entire hand.
I was going to say, I thought he was sitting on a Walking Ballista, but... Yeah! We talked about this one, right?
We did.
Ensnaring Bridge for the win. Ensnaring Bridge is actually insane because the opponent has like a Sigh of Insanity.
Oh yeah.
Just like you don't even need to get rid of
your
hand. You're just like, take it. But as you mentioned, the Flash Raker might be enough to just like shoot on Jorge. There's not really much Jorge can do at this point. Like he's also sitting on 0 cards. Like at this point, I would tell Jorge, you can pick any card from your deck. I don't think you can win.
Yeah. So the only thing that threatens under at this point is the One Ring. Like it deals 6 damage in his next upkeep. Like he doesn't die from it, but it's just like something he has to be aware.
That's true. That's true.
Right. So this Ancient Tomb like is basically a blank card.
Maybe you. I don't know. Like how many Paradox engines does the deck play? Does it only play 2? I would think it plays like 3 or 4.
Probably the full play set.
Yeah.
Okay, we see like a fetch land. This could be like a surveil land maybe at the end of turn.
You know, there's also the Julian curse where just like I declare a game over and I hype one of the players and their board and everything. And then they pass and then the other one kills them and they're like, oh yeah, there was this card I totally didn't think about.
Yeah, so it's a racing situation, right? Like Alen cannot do much here, I think. Just like sit back, you know. And under is basically under is his own One Ring. Like he has like exactly 1 more turn, and he needs to cast 5 colorless spells. That's his task. I think it's pretty easy to do it, especially if you have the One Ring that draws you like another 7 cards next turn. But who knows? Like he might fizzle.
Well, it might be physically impossible for Under not to win on the next turn. Now that I think about it. Like, you can see, like, you talked about this, right? The ring can literally draw the rest of the stack. And at that point, if you cannot cast 5 spells, what's going on there? I can't believe that would be real. I think at some point you have to wonder whether you're going to deck yourself. Like, you have to be, like, tactical about your ring activations to make sure you don't deck yourself there. But we get something from our deck. What's it gonna be? We have perfect information. Honestly, you might not even want to take something like a Lotus Petal, because you can also like just like draw that with the ring and then cast it for free. Yeah, you'd rather take a key. That makes sense. Or take Key, dude. I have so many memories of that card. You remember the Kaibuda Wildfire deck, 1999 in Tokyo?
Yeah.
You were there, right? No, you were not. Were you born yet?
I was born already. I was also probably in Japan.
You were there for the 1999 World Championships in Tokyo?
I think so. Maybe.
You played in them? No.
I did not. No, I was a baby back then. You know, didn't know.
You could barely read
anything about Magic. Yeah.
You're like, Wildfire? What is that? No way. I'm gonna sacrifice lands.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna generate a bunch of mana, dropping down to 2 life, as you mentioned, on the ring. And from here on out, the only mistake we should try to avoid is tapping our Ancient Tomb. And I'd be surprised if we are unable to cast 5 spells here. And has, I want to say, roughly doing the math, 2,000 mana, 2020, I believe. And
it's also probably not crazy to to go retrieve like something like
Paradox Engine.
All right, we got it. All right, we got it. I was gonna say like maybe there is a Walking Ballista maybe in the sideboard which we can retrieve with the Karn, but
yeah. I mean,
be a little bit overkill.
Anna could do so much there. And I was going to say, like, as soon as the Paradox Engine came down, Jorge could see the writing on the wall. But actually, the writing on the wall was there for, like, an entire turn. Just
totally.
all over the entire house. Like, Enda came into Jorge's house and was, like, painting on the wall, I am going to win this game, and there's nothing you can do about this. Jorge was like, let's see if he can actually do it. Because, you never know. Maybe the opponent taps the Ancient Tomb or something. Actually, I don't even know how that's handled in paper. When you go, like, it's probably going to be a rewind. Like, you used to be a judge. Until you retired.
The one time I judged.
That's one of the best stories. We have that on a podcast, by the way. Check it out, Everyday Channel. I think we've mentioned it a couple of times. But now we are going into the second game, I believe. And it's going to be Jorge on the play. Probably brought in, well, not too much. Like, I guess they have some artifact removal at times. Like, they have stuff like Shenanigans. So let's see how that works out. Oh, going back to this, okay.
What's up, folks?
We're here, beautiful Naron. You see that in the background. So we got our breast. Kai, you actually have to move to the side. Like, give some attention here to Ultimate Guard, right?
Can't see that.
Ultimate Guard, they're helping us out. They're making all of this possible, especially also. And while I say this, Ultimate Guard, City of Naron, they're putting on support for the entire weekend. But especially today, MTG Playmats, those guys are really helping us out with the Spanish Legacy Nationals. So show all of them a lot of love. Especially show Naron some love by coming here next year as a tourist.
Okay.
Check out Ultimate Guard, all of their products. You can also get them here at the tournament. I think they're doing some sick raffles. Like, there's going to be some sick backpacks and all of that stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. Everyone can win. That's maybe like pushing it a little bit, but
I mean, it is. That's also like why people keep playing. What I've seen, right? That's amazing. So people want that Ultimate Guard swag.
That's a good thing, people should be playing more Magic in general.
Yeah, and if you want some special playmats, check it out. mtgplaymats.com, your place for playmats. And yeah, we're excited to see how the rest of the tournament is gonna go. We're gonna jump into the next game, and we're gonna see whether there's going to be a way to lock up the top 8 for one of those players.
Sick.
We're getting some information that one of the players actually had to mulligan down to 3. So it better be a good 3. What's your favorite? Under had to mulligan down to 3. So what's the best 3 you can
I mean, it has to be like Leyland of the Void, right? Or like some way to stop like a really aggressive start. If you go down like below 4, then oh yeah. You gotta have those haymakers in hand.
You know how I always lose like that? They just go like, oh, that's interesting. Okay, turn to Voidwalker, attack you like 6 times, GG. Okay, Anna found a stable mana base. Jorge, not really a lot of information on his hand yet. Faithless Looting. All of those cards are going to go into exile, of course, courtesy of Leyline of the Void. So what do you not want? Yeah, that makes sense. No entombs in this world. Thank you very much. Getting a land and probably passing back. Like, the only thing you can do is like discard. You know how Anna can actually like get into this? Just like draw the One Ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Look
Even
at
Mystic
that.
Forge.
Like he's completely out of cards in hand. Like thoughts his grief effects don't do anything anymore. And he has a lot of good top decks. Like Mystic Forge is also pretty insane. Karn the Great Creator, really good top deck.
Even just like random Eldrazi's, right?
Oh
Fresh
yeah.
Striker, yeah.
Oh absolutely, yeah. I would be happy to top deck on.
So help me out, like Rakdos Reanimator, what do they usually do against like Leyline? Because those are the two colors that are not really known for having an answer to enchantments.
You could go Show and Tell. If you have one Underground Sea, you can cast Show and Tell and put your Fetties into play that way. What else? I guess you can try and sideboard like a couple of creatures. Magus is cute. It stops with a Saga.
It stops as a Saga. And I'm trying to think of anything else. No, but Saga is good. Like I was gonna mention Saga is like the 5th great top deck that Under could have here, but at least that one's turned off.
Yeah, that's decent.
And also it puts some pressure now, right? That's the one thing you need. Like that's what you're all about, because you know in the long run Under is gonna be there. The single Hill Giant, Great Grey Ogre is actually not gonna do it, but at least it's a start. So if you can follow it up with something, like if you get to like 4 points of power, I'm gonna start being a believer. But until then, okay,
yeah,
here we
check
go.
this
No,
out.
that's real.
I like that a lot. Don't have any cards in hand. Still casting that grief. For 5 points. This is really strong against the start with Alen of the Void.
Yeah, and Under is like down to 18 now, so that's gonna be like 5 a turn. So he needs to find something in the next 3 turns. Otherwise, he's going to be toast, and we're going to be moving on to a 3rd game. And even if he does find something, like some of his outs, they might not do it at this point, right? Karn might be a turn too slow if you find him on the last turn. Even like, what else do we talk about?
Oh, check this out. And speaking of the devil.
Okay, that's early enough to be decent. Yeah, we're going to find the Ensnaring Bridge. That's fine.
And cast it.
Oh, we cast it the very same turn? Never mind, I take everything back. Karn is a great top deck there, even if it was like 2 turns later. Jorge on the other end. Okay, we're gonna go for the what's it called? Rakdos?
Molten Collapse. Interesting.
Yeah, good card.
Really cool.
Good card. Karn gets taken out, and we are back to square one. We need to find something. And what do you got this time? Slow rolling, nothing. Jorge just doing his thing, right? I was gonna say he can almost like start thinking about hardcasting Griselbrand at some point, but he's gonna need Dark Ritual for that. With the Magus of the Moon play. He's like, what's going on there? Why is your City of Traders not in the graveyard? Like, yeah, because you made it so. Just attacking for 5, passing back. And come on, show us something exciting. Do a trick. Okay. Some extra mana. No? Yes. No. Don't play with my feelings, man. I want to see something. Okay, Paradox Engine. Here we go. I guess it makes it so that if you draw Mystic Forge, it's going to be really good. Like, absolutely really good. And we even drew the Dark Ritual. Dude, we are so close to hardcasting Griselbrand if we actually end up having it.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Wait, does the Dark Ritual untap? Does the Grim Monolith untap? I'm not too sure about that.
This needs to be something here.
That's not good enough. I guess you could just like untap with the key. Yeah, end of turn. That makes sense. Take 5 more, and this is the turn, right? Oh, dude, we're doing it. We're doing it.
Oh, the Archon!
So much better than Griselbrand. Just takes the game right away.
Rakdos burn.
Lose 3 life. That's Rakdos burn. Rakdos aggro burn.
That's good.
Cool. So yeah, both players game apiece, taking it to the 3rd game and fighting it out for what would be a lockup in the Legacy National Championship here in Spain, Naron, beautiful Galicia. And I'm excited. Who's your favorite in the 3rd game? Probably the person on the play. I mean, we keep saying that.
I already said it last time. So but you know, I think like the Mystic Forge combo is so explosive, and there's nothing the Reanimator deck can do about it. There's no Force of Will, there's no Force of Vigor, like none of that. And Alen of the Void is really like a backbreaking sideboard card. So I have I bet on the Mystic Forge deck But again, you know, like they're up against this really powerful
Let's see.
Reanimator deck. Like, you know, it could go other way, but I think the Mystic Forge deck has a little bit of the upper hand here.
So let's jump into the game. Let's see whether Mystic Forge actually can find the ley line, right? Because that's the big thing, as you mentioned. If you don't find the ley line, and you keep like this kind of like middle of the road hand, I believe there might actually be a chance that Reanimator just takes it, because you often convince yourself, right, that you're like, this is okay. Like if they don't have a turn 2, they always have a turn 2. So let's see, and whether there's gonna be a ley line.
And looks like there is.
Is that a ley line on the very right?
It could be.
But the text doesn't seem like a ley line. No, I don't think that's a ley line. Oh, it is. It is. Oh, it's because it's Japanese, I want to say. Like, we don't have the resolution yet to fully tell you, but I don't think that's an English one. That's why I was fooled. Okay, so here we go. We got 3 mana on the first turn if you really want to, and a ley line. That looks like a pretty good start. Jorge on the other side. Let's see. Oh, dude, we just like... Oh, that's an interesting way to do it.
Yeah, we got them. We got them all. Oh, and the Mystic Forge in turn 1. What a powerful start. What a powerful start. Like, Mystic Forge already is powerful, but like Leyland in addition.
By the way, do you see what Anda is rocking there on his wrist? That looks like a Casio watch. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm like absolutely doing him like totally injustice, and it's like one of the coolest things ever. But to me, Casio is cool. Okay, we're gonna take out that flute and leave Anda with just another Crystal Vein. Yeah, that's some mana. On the other side, Jorge just passing it back. Nothing else to do there. We're going to check the top card. Let's see if we pay 1 life to get rid of that. Or maybe we can even cast it. My deck is a machine that turns Crystal Veins into Grim Monolith. Passing back to Jorge there. Fetching probably like for a Scryland, I would guess, at the end of turn there. Yeah, getting rid of Leyline, huh? Not really a thing in these colors. I mean, there is this black card, I don't remember the name right now, that can actually destroy enchantments these days.
Oh yeah, it's Feed the Swarm.
Feed
the Swarm, yeah.
Something food related, right?
It's a sorcery for 2 mana. And commander staple, of course. Every black commander deck wants to play Feed the Swarm to get rid of like Leyland, or I guess like Rest in Peace or something like that.
The honest answer is to get rid of like whatever like play group just plays, and it's considered like an overpowered card.
Oh yeah.
So trying to figure out what Jorge wants to do there. Honestly, it might once again just come down to just having some kind of either creature artifact removal or creatures.
Okay.
There is a... Well,
he drew a Magus of the Moon. That's generally a good card. However, like Under doesn't even have a single land in play. So
I was going to say, like, one of the prerequisites for Magus of the Moon to do something is the opponent actually having lands in the first place. Not a given here. Like, we draw all of... Like, this is organic, right? We don't use the land, right? We draw all of our mana from, like... Actually, it's not very organic in the first place. It's not organic at all. This is just like we draw our mana from these like Grim Monolith Smokestack-esque thingies. I don't think that's too healthy.
That. Yeah. I think it's like thinking for a second, you know, cracking that Lotus Petal for a Dark Ritual to cast that Magus of the Moon, but oh man.
Yeah, Anna might be running away with this game.
It doesn't look pretty.
Like, even if Jorge somehow finds a way to deal with the ley line, that's not even a given that it's going to be in time or that he has actually something to do with it, because it doesn't really look like it. Wait, what are we doing there? Are we counting spells already? Instead of, oh, we're counting mana, I guess. There's a ring, sure. Yeah, as we talk about it, right? Whenever you watch these Mystic Forge decks, you feel like, this deck is so good. Everybody should be playing it. And then it also like makes it all the way into the top 8. I think like last year or earlier this year, a player even won 4 seasons with it, or at least like my top 8 with it. It's always around, it's always good. It plays Broken Buster cards, and I keep talking myself into playing it until I just like mulligan to 3 and I don't win. Need to go into the under school of Magic playing. Okay, passing it back to Jorge here. Under still refusing to have lands that don't like destroy themselves. I guess you can tap for like honestly, if Jorge played a Magus of the Moon here, Under almost gets an upgrade. Like all of a sudden his Crystal Vein doesn't tap for colorless, but it taps for red, which to him doesn't really make any kind of difference. Oh, if this is what your opponent is spending like 2 extra cards on, you feel pretty good, right? Like they get rid of their own Lotus Petal, they get rid of their own Dark Ritual. It's just like, okay, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? It's actually nothing. But yeah, I guess that's what you sign up for if you play Rakdos Reanimator.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, like Leyline is rough. I think if there was no Leyline, the game could have been like much different.
Yeah, but that's high variance you sign up for. That's what makes it so hard.
Exactly. Yeah.
I feel like we are just like watching Ender go through the motions as Jorge is trying to put up an impression of this still being a game. But of course, Ender doesn't want to make any mistakes here. He feels like, oh, I'm so close to the top 8 now of the Spanish Legacy Nationals. This is the 4th copy of Crystal Vein. This is Crystal Vein .deck. I remember when I was a child and I opened like boosters and I was like Crystal Vein and I was like, this is so bad. Like, why would I ever want to sacrifice this? And then people were like, no, really good card. Like, yeah, come on. This is worse than the Plains. Yeah, don't think Plains would have been as good in this game. Mr. Karn coming down. What's Karn's favorite toy? Show something juicy. Like, I don't know, Phyrexian Colossus or something. The first rare ever.
That's a big one. Yeah, like Mirrodin Darksteel All-Star, you know?
Phyrexian Colossus?
Oh no!
Saga,
Oh shit! No, that's like from way back. Yeah.
Yeah. That you used Rotate Key to untap that one. You didn't pay 7 life to untap that one. Wait, we just plussed Karn? Okay. You're like that. Come at me. Deal 2 damage to you? No.
Control Forge.
I like how Jorge didn't even bother to attack Karn. Okay. Like Ender has so many resources available. He can like do the ring thing. He can do the forge thing. He can do the Karn thing. And on top of that, he has like all the mana in the world. It's just like too many resources. I need an AI like ChatGPT. Help me out. What's the best play here?
Yeah. He could even get like a Microsynth Lattice, for example. The Lotus Petal is already shut off by Count's passive ability.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. This is abysmal. I think it's like a matter of.
Wait, we get Tormod script.
All right.
Yeah.
And we see the concession right there.
Yeah. I mean, Jorge is certainly not out of this. Under moving on to 4-0. If he gets the right pairings, he can double draw into a top 8, already lock up his spot there. But Jorge, 3-1. If he gets another, also draw into a top 8 most likely. Otherwise, he's like basically 2 shots to still make it. Let's see how that works out. And yeah, we already locked up the first 2 plays. I don't know if we have a backup feature match. If we have one, we will go right into that. Until then, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Julian Knapp. This is Kaiser Vatari.
What's up, guys?
And he still hasn't received his luggage. Seriously.
I haven't.
What's up with that?
Yeah, it happens like in almost every flight I take. Like I arrived in Naron yesterday. It was a beautiful day, and when we arrived at the airport, they told me that my luggage didn't arrive, and I was still stuck in Madrid or in Amsterdam or somewhere.
Yeah, they told us it's gonna arrive the very same day, right?
Oh yeah.
The very next flight.
Nope.
Air Europa.
Nope.
Guys, come on, don't lie to us.
Nope.
It wasn't the very next flight, and also wasn't the flight the next day.